Don't let appearances fool you. Your eyes are actually survival tools, engineered by physics and evolution. Here are 10 scientific eye colors. Let's see what kind of weapon you and your favorite star possess. 1. Brown eyes, the original shield. Technically, brown eyes are nature's original sunglasses. Picture the first people hunting dinner under a sky they never blinked at. No shades and no hats, just a whole lot of sun trying to ruin your visibility. So, who is still seeing clearly in that environment? People with coffee-colored superpowers, like the deep-set eyes of Beyoncé or Jessica Alba. Melanin shows up as the world's calmest bouncer and says the light is too bright. It doesn't reflect the light back like a glittering show. It quietly absorbs the glare so you can actually spot the antelope and not become the menu. These eyes were engineered for, quote, survival close to the equator, where you have heat, haze, and horizon. The majority of humanity has brown eyes, not because it's trendy, but because it's efficient. It's the all-terrain tire of eye colors, because it's reliable on open savannas or the bleachers at noon games. The vibe of brown eyes is like a sealed letter because they are calm, solid, and intentionally a little hard to read. While lighter eyes might sparkle, brown eyes smolder. But catch them during golden hour, under candlelight, or late afternoon sun, and they warm into amber, cinnamon, or even honey. This isn't a color change, it's more like a reveal. However, many of you in the comments mentioned that, despite having brown eyes, you are still sensitive to light. While your iris blocks light, you might have a pale retina that is more sensitive to brightness. This means the wiring inside your eye reacts more strongly to photons, even if the front door is dark. You might also have naturally wide pupils that allow more light to enter regardless of your eye color. This physical feature overrides the melanin shield and makes you squint even in moderate sunlight. Evolution selected for eyes that keep you alive and on target. And honestly, that's pretty captivating. 2. Blue eyes, the physics trick. Blue eyes are the sky you can wear, like the cinematic gaze of Brad Pitt or Taylor Swift. They don't hold color but perform a quote-unquote magic trick. With less quote-unquote melanin in the iris, light dives in, scatters around, and reflects back, appearing blue. This is the Tyndall effect physics party that the atmosphere throws at dusk, just closer to your face. It's not dye, it's optics. It works like frosted glass, turning a regular light bulb into a halo. Out in the wild, blue eyes are magnets for attention. On an overcast afternoon, they go glacial. The lack of direct sunlight makes the scattering effect cooler and sharper. If you find shade under a tree, they suddenly look like a deep lake. Ambient light shifts the wavelength absorption, deepening the perceived blue. Step into midday sun and you might squint first, because that pale iris allows more brightness through. Sunglasses aren't a fashion choice here. They are a survival strategy. But dim the lights and watch them soak up light from candles and street signs as if they've activated night mode. The mood is different too, because while brown eyes smolder, blue eyes spark. They deliver an electric energy even when you're standing still. They can be soft as sea glass one minute and cold as steel the next when the clouds shift. That's the fun of it. It's not a color change, it's a mood shift written in photons. Blue eyes come with a bit of built-in drama, the optical equivalent of a drum roll. Evolution didn't put paint in them, but it gave them a, quote, filter. 3. Green eyes, the biological glitch. Green eyes are the ultimate plot twist, the signature look of Adele or Emma Stone. They look like someone mixed a forest and lightning and said, "Don't tell anyone." They aren't neon and they aren't loud, just that quiet, charged green. Here is the trick, because they are built on a razor's edge formula. You need a touch of yellow pigment called lipochrome to stain the reflected light. This rare yellow pigment acts as a filter over the natural blue scattering to produce the green appearance. You need lots of internal scattering to stir it all together. This Rayleigh scattering has to be perfectly balanced to blend the blue and yellow waves into an emerald color. Tilt the mixture and they drift toward brown, but pull it back and they drift toward blue. Hold the perfect balance and you have green. That is why they feel alive under changing skies. Shade makes them moody, while bright sun sharpens them. Indoors, they borrow the room's mood like adaptive camouflage. Culturally, they have always carried whispers of forest witches or trickster gods. If brown eyes are the all-terrain classic, and blue eyes are the optical illusion, then green eyes are the engineering oversight that got promoted to legend. 4. Hazel eyes, the shapeshifter. Hazel eyes don't pick a lane because they build a traffic circle, typical of the unpredictable gaze of Rihanna or Tyra Banks. There is a warm gold in the center and a swirl of green on the edges. It's like someone stirred honey into a forest and said, "That's the one." What's happening underneath is a gradient. There is more melanin closer to the pupil, creating that amber ring many of you noticed. This inner ring acts as a solid color anchor, contrasting with the outer rim. There is less pigment toward the rim, hinting at a leafy green. This exterior part relies on light scattering, making it more prone to environmental color shifts. The result is a mood ring effect. Morning coffee by the window makes them lean into green. During golden hour, they glow like fresh cider. Under club lights, they suddenly reveal flecks and secrets. Hazel eyes are the improv actors of the iris because they adapt, pivot, and own the stage. They are common enough to feel familiar, but rare enough to feel like a plot point. Hazel eyes reveal themselves with a first glance for the gold and a second glance for the green. 5. Amber eyes, fire in a bottle. Amber eyes don't just catch light, they steep in it. A rare beauty you might see in Nicole Richie. Think warm honey with a spark from a struck match. They are not brown, not hazel, and not gold jewelry. It's like a small campfire where your pupil is the coals. Underneath, it's melanin that has metabolized into an amber syrup. There is just enough pigment to soothe the glare so you aren't blinded. This offers a similar natural sunglass effect as brown eyes, but with a lighter tone. There isn't so much pigment that it swallows the light. This allows light to pierce through and glow from inside the iris structure. Candlelight makes them look molten. Cold, blue, fluorescent lights might try to flatten them, but give them one warm ray of light and they wake up instantly. Where blue eyes crackle and green eyes plot, amber eyes stalk. They read like a promise that it's calm now, but there will be fire later. 6. Gray eyes, the storm forecast. Gray eyes don't scream a color because they predict it, like the cool and compelling gaze of Jennifer Lawrence. With low melanin and high scattering, your iris acts like a, quote, storm glass. They pick up whatever the sky, or your sweater, is doing. An overcast morning makes them look like steel. The gray sky reflects off the collagen layers in the iris to create a metallic appearance. A forest trail gives them a layer of moss. The greenery around you is reflected in the iris structure, temporarily lending them a green hue. In bright sun, they can look icy, sharp, and almost metallic. That same openness to light means you'll be squinting before the brown-eyed crowd. Dim the room and they soften into smoke, like fog rolling over a lake at dawn. The vibe is quiet voltage. Blue eyes spark and green eyes plot, but gray eyes calculate. They don't jump out at you so much as pull you in, the way a monochrome photo makes you lean closer. 7. Black eyes, the void. Many of you asked about quote-unquote black eyes because you felt left out of the brown eye description. But look at star Jenna Ortega. Those deep, dark eyes are her brand. True black eyes don't exist unless you have a medical condition like aniridia, which is the absence of an iris. However, you have the darkest shade of brown so saturated with melanin that it swallows every bit of light. It's like looking into the abyss or deep space. The sun hates you because that dark amount of pigment absorbs heat like an asphalt runway in July. You can suffer from simple photophobia because your eyes run hotter than everyone else's. The vibe here is absolute mystery because nobody can see your pupils dilate. You have the ultimate quote-unquote poker face because your emotional tells are hidden. Since the pupil blends into the iris, nobody can tell when you're excited or afraid. Your eyes operate like a light reservoir that returns nothing at all. This creates an intense, piercing look that feels like it sees right through people. It's not just brown, it's the event horizon of eye colors. 8. Violet eyes, the Hollywood legend. Some of you asked, where is the purple? And cited movie legend Elizabeth Taylor. Violet eyes are the unicorn of human biology. Essentially, they are a very specific type of blue eye, with two factors colliding. The iris has so little pigment that it allows blood vessels to reflect. This red reflection from the back of the eye mixes with the blue of the iris. This red reflection mixes with the blue, Rayleigh scattering, of the iris structure. Red plus blue equals violet, creating the appearance of purple under specific lighting. It is an extremely rare light trick. They glow, they are strange, and they have historical ties to royalty and mythology. 9. Heterochromia, the remix. We can't forget those who commented about having two different eye colors, like Superman Henry Cavill or actress Mila Kunis. This is called heterochromia, and it's basically a glitch in, quote-unquote, the Matrix, where your genetic printer switched cartridges mid-run. You can have complete heterochromia, where one eye is blue and the other is green. This is a rare condition where each eye develops a completely different dominant pigment level. You can have sectoral heterochromia, where a slice of brown cuts across a blue iris. It looks like a pie chart where a segment of the eye decided to carry a different color. Then there is central heterochromia, which many of you described as a gold or white ring. This isn't indecision, but a separate inner color ring surrounding the pupil that is distinct from the outer iris. If you have this, you are walking around with a built-in conversation starter and a distinct genetic ID. 10. Red eyes, anatomy optics. Red eyes aren't demons, and they aren't vampires. They are just optics turned inside out, often seen in people with albinism. With nearly zero melanin in the iris, the front window becomes transparent. Light bounces off the back of the eye where the small blood vessels live. That reflection leaks through, and you get a ruby glow. This is why the camera red eye phenomenon happens when the flash bounces off that vascular backdrop. In real life, it looks softer and more rose-colored than a stop sign until a flash of light hits it. The trade-off for that luminosity is extreme sensitivity. Sunglasses aren't attitude here because they are armor. So, eyes are not just color, they are stories told in light. Whether you have survival brown, strategic gray, or mysterious black, your eyes are doing exactly what evolution designed them to do. Every shade has its purpose, to keep you steady, make you pop, or reflect the weather inside you. If one of these sounds like you, leave your eye color and the wildest compliment you've ever gotten in the comments. If you learned something new, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next deep dive video. And if you already hit subscribe, welcome home.